Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Strong, and today we're going to be talking about the number one cause of neuropathy that 99% of doctors miss. And I have a clinic here in Sarasota, Florida, but I also work with patients all over the world because they find me through social media, because I do a lot of education on neuropathy and specifically peripheral neuropathy, because it's growing so fast. And I'm going to talk about why that's the case here in just a minute. But this video is to help you understand what's causing your neuropathy, what steps you can do in order to start the process of healing the nerves. And yes, the nerves can heal. While it's not a fast process, you have to understand that there's a certain recipe in order to get a good result with neuropathy, which I'm going to go over today. But I see a lot of doctors just dismiss it. Either they're just giving medications or something like that. They're not educating the patients why it's occurring and what they need to do in order to actually start the healing process. But what is neuropathy? This, all it means is nerve damage. So peripheral neuropathy, like we talked about, happens in the hands or the feet. It usually has many various different causes. But it looks like sharp stabbing pains, numbness, tingling, maybe some weakness in the hands or the feet as well. The reason it happens in these areas is because the nerves and the blood vessels in those areas are very small, so they're more susceptible to damage. And this can be very debilitating the further it goes on, and this can take years in order to develop. Now, it's not a pathology or a disease that is something like a cancer, a heart attack, or stroke that has very severe consequences very fast. This is more debilitating, where I see that it affects patients' quality of lives. They can't go walk, they can't play with their grandchildren, they can't spend time with their spouse, they're stuck at home, and they're not able to do maybe the recreational activities that they once could. And I'm seeing it happen in even younger people now, so it's not just limited to an older generation. We're seeing this happen in 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, and it's really alarming. And the cause that I'm going to talk about today pertains more to the younger generation than it does the older, but they still apply. So we've talked about the nerve damage. We've talked about the symptoms that come with this. The next thing is what causes it. This is the most important thing, that you need to understand what the cause is, because it's like if I have a thorn in my finger, but I don't address that there's a thorn. I think that my finger just hurts and it's inflamed and it's causing me pain and discomfort. If I never pull the thorn out, then I'm never going to have healing happen in that area. But what causes it? So diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is the number one cause. And this happens because blood sugars, what they do is they destroy the microvasculature and the teeny tiny nerves in the hands. And this is why you worry about with diabetics that they get ulcers or infections, because if you destroy the vascularity in that area, there's no way to get the immune system to start the repairing process and to fight off any infections that happen. And this is why those things happen. So diabetes, which is growing, unfortunately. Surgeries, so we see like neck surgeries, back surgeries, hips, shoulders, knees, elbows, wrists, whatever it may be. We see that those can cause peripheral neuropathy because they're cutting the nerves and the blood vessels in those areas. Stenosis in the neck or the low back can cause it, bulging herniated discs. We're seeing a lot of chemo and radiation-induced neuropathies because cancer is growing, unfortunately. So this is probably about another 30% of the patients that I see have one of those issues. And that, like I said, same thing, same principle, is that it damages the microvasculature and the nerves in the periphery. Autoimmune, this is what I'm seeing in the younger generation, so I'll talk about that in just a minute. But Raynaud's disease is very common. Any type of celiac disease we see is very common, causing the issues. And then lifestyle, smoking and alcohol, those are huge risk factors, especially smoking, again, because it damages the microvasculature in the hands and the feet. And if you didn't know, a lot of people aren't aware, but alcohol-induced neuropathy is very common as well. A lot of the times I'll see that people come into my office and they don't have any of these risk factors, but when we get to smoking and alcohol, they are saying that maybe they're smoking a pack a day or they're having several drinks a day. And it's part of that I have to tell them, hey, look, I may not be able to help you if you're not willing to quit these things. because it's just going to cause constant inflammation in the body. The best analogy that I can give for this is, let's imagine you go home today and your house is on fire. And instead of putting out the fire, what you do is you start trying to rebuild the house while it's on fire. That doesn't make a lot of sense, because maybe you're at a standstill. Maybe it's not going to get any worse, but you can only probably keep that up for a certain amount of time before it overtakes. And this is what I see a lot of people try to do, is they try to still use the habits or do the old habits that are causing the issues without changing them, which leads to poor results. So you have to get rid of the smoking and alcohol. Now, the traditional model, the things that they do are drugs. So they do like gabapentin, Lyrica, Cymbalta, Neurontin are the most common ones. Antidepressants are very common as well. But these don't address any of the issues. They don't address the actual nerve damage. All they do is they just mask the pain. And then when that fails, what they do is they try to do more of those drugs. So they give higher doses of those drugs, but same thing, those do not help at all. And then maybe they try injections, surgeries, a spinal cord stimulator. We have several patients that are opting in to get the spinal cord stimulator, or they've got it and they're getting it removed because it's causing more pain, it doesn't really help, and their neuropathy is still getting worse. I'm not saying that sometimes these things don't help. They can, but more often than not, I see them causing more issues than I do see them helping. So the traditional model is really failing at this to address the root cause, because they're not doing anything but masking symptoms. They're never actually helping the body heal, and they're not educating patients about why they have the problem in the first place. And that seems to be one of the biggest issues, is that they don't understand, these patients don't understand why they're having those issues, so that they can never make the correct changes. While some people aren't, like I said, willing to give up smoking, alcohol, or maybe the sugar, but that's their decision. And we've done the best that we can to educate them and let them know. Most people, at some point, it gets so bad that they will come back, 6 months, a year, 2 years later, and say, okay, I'm ready to make changes, because they're worried about losing their feet, they're worried about getting infections, they can't sleep at all, they're starting to maybe potentially lose their jobs. So there's a lot of things that it starts really impeding once it gets to that point. And so the number one missed cause, and I want to talk about this now, this is a very big generalization, but if you brought me 100 patients and you said, Dr. Strong, you only have one tool to help as many of these patients as possible, what would you do? Well, the first thing that I would do is I would address their gut health, because diabetes, your pancreas, which is responsible for insulin secretion, is part of the digestive system. It's a very important one. So addressing that can help address the neuropathy indirectly. And then these surgeries, stenosis, those just chronic inflammation over time leading to osteoarthritis and degeneration comes a lot of the times from poor diet, poor gut health. Chemotherapies, cancer, radiation, those things. I would argue that the same thing as when we talk about the degeneration in the joints, in the neck, at the back, comes from just chronic inflammation, which comes from gut health. I see it all the time that there are more and more patients that are struggling with the toxins and chemicals in the foods, rather than, maybe like the lifestyle, and they don't realize it. For example, I have one patient, we found out tomatoes causes her neuropathy. Another one, we found out oxalates causes her neuropathy. Another one was milk chocolate. So I find, and there's a very simple way that we test and do that, so that we're not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on blood work. But, I'm seeing it more and more that the food is causing a lot of these issues and causing chronic inflammation, leading to these degenerative changes. So the number one missed cause is dietary factors, addressing the diet. Like I just have a patient who we got her off caffeine and alcohol and sugar. She's lost over 10 pounds in probably 2 weeks, and she's got more clarity. Her back pain is gone. Her feet are feeling better. And I don't think that the medical model takes time to educate you about this, which is why I have this channel and this video, so that you can understand that these things highly impact. And whether you quit those things or not, or you reduce them, that's your choice, but at least you understand what's going on. Now, how do we fix neuropathy? Part of this is that, first of all, like I said, we have to remove the things that are causing it first. That's the number one step. And if you don't do that, then you're just going to sit there and tread in water, or the house is going to continue to burn down, and it's only going to get worse or maybe just stay the same. So we have to remove the toxins, we have to remove the traumas that are happening to the nerves in order for them to regenerate. The next thing is you need to support the nerves. So you need to get good fatty acids, which is what they're made of. You need to decrease as much inflammation as possible. You can do that with anti-inflammatory foods, taking foods out of your diet. And then supplements is another key factor that I like to use in my office when treating patients. I have my own formulas that I use in order to improve blood flow, decrease inflammation, and then also to support the nerves for regeneration. So hopefully this was helpful. I don't want this to go too much longer, but if you want to start the process to healing your nerves, then there's a link below. It's just my guide on how to start the healing process with your nerves. You can go through that, take your time. It'll take you kind of through this process to help you understand what's causing your neuropathy, what risk factors do you have, how to identify them all, and then how to start addressing them so you can start the road to healing. Hopefully get you off of these medications, get you back to being active with your family and friends and doing the things that you love. So if you have any questions, please just comment them below, and I'll respond as fast as I can. Hopefully this helps, and talk to you all soon. Bye.